Now we will discuss another important aspect in the diagnosis of glaucoma, okay, which is the perimetry. So what is perimetry? Perimetry means the analysis and evaluation of the visual fields, okay. This is called perimetry. So before understanding the perimetry, we should have the knowledge of the field of vision. We should have the understanding of this concept, okay. So what is the field of vision? And few other concepts, okay. Field of vision, when we fix on a central fixating point, when we fix our vision on a central fixating point, in the areas which we are perceiving, all the areas which we are perceiving now, this is called field of vision, okay. So by fixing on a central point in perception of all the areas, this is called field of vision, okay. This is the field of vision. Now we have the central field of vision and we have the peripheral field of vision. The central field of vision is by fixating on a central target, the areas at the 30 degree of this fixating point. This is called, this 30 degree area, this is called central field of the vision, okay. And beyond that areas which we are receiving beyond the 30 degrees of the fixating point, these areas, these are called peripheral field of vision, okay. So this is the peripheral field of vision. Now the blind spot. What is the normal and natural blind spot? This blind spot is actually, it is made by the optic nerve head, which is also called optic disc, okay. So the optic disc, why the optic disc does not have any visual acuity, and it is a normal and natural blind spot, but we are not perceiving this. Why? Because this blind spot is very narrow and very small. That's why the brain is fusing this normal blind spot and we are not perceiving it, okay. So this blind spot, when we fix on a central fixating point, okay, when we go 12 to 15 degrees temporally from this blind spot, from this central fixating point, so this is the blind spot, okay. By fixating on a central fixed point, when we go 12 to 15 degrees temporally, okay, temporally. So this temporal area at 12 to 15 degrees, this is the normal blind spot. The rays will come like this, the rays from this blind spot will come like this, and they will focus, these rays will focus on the, exactly on the optic disc. So it will be, we have a temporal side, we have a narrow and small blind spot, okay, which does not have any visual acuity. But we are not perceiving it normally, and we are not even know that where is the blind spot and how it is, okay. So normally the brain is fusing this blind spot and it is not normally not perceiving, okay. So this is the normal and natural blind spot, the optic disc or optic nerve head, okay. Now we have three types of ganglions, okay. These ganglions are in the retina. We have the magnocellular ganglions, okay. We have the parocellular ganglions and we have the coniocellular ganglions. The magnocellular ganglions, these are for the form and shape. They are perceiving the form and shape of any object, okay. And we have the parocellular ganglions. These ganglions in the retina, these are perceiving the flicker in motions, okay. So the flicker in motions, these are perceiving by these parocellular ganglions. And we have the third type, which is the coniocellular ganglions. These are the ganglions in the retina which are perceiving small wavelength light rays such as blue light, okay. So blue light is perceived by the coniocellular ganglions. So these were few concepts which we should know in the perimetry, okay. The central field of vision, peripheral field of vision, blind spot, in the three types of ganglions, okay. Now what is perimetry? Now the evaluation and analysis of this field of vision, this is called perimetry, okay. So we are actually checking for any visual field defects. We have types of perimetry: kinetic perimetry and static perimetry. Kinetic perimetry, this perimetry is using a moving stimulus. That's why it is using a moving stimulus. That's why it is called kinetic perimetry, okay. Through the moving stimulus, we are checking for any visual field defects, okay. So, for example, kinetic perimetry can be a tangent line perimetry, called Goldman perimetry. Tangent line perimetry is that we will make the patient sit 1 meter away from the screen. Okay, in this screen we will show the patient a perimetric diagram. Okay, we have a kind of diagram which is called perimetric diagram. Okay, so this is perimetric diagram. We will draw this diagram, okay, like this. We will show this diagram on the screen, okay, to the patient, and we will make the patient sit 1 meter away from the screen. The examiner will move a moving stimulus from a non-seeing area to a seeing area, and it will check every point of the visual field. The central visual field, the 30 degree, and away from the 30 degrees, the peripheral field of vision, okay. So the examiner will do like this. If you are the patient, I will ask you that whether is it visible or not? 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 So the examiner on this tangent screen will evaluate and will check for every point in order to detect any visual field defects, okay. This is called tangent line perimetry. Now we can also check this perimetry through a machine, okay. The visual field through a machine which is called Goldman perimetry, Goldman machine, okay. Goldman is a machine in which we are keeping the head of a patient, and through this machine we are checking every aspect of the vision, every aspect of the field of vision, okay. So through the machine we will check field of vision, okay. And the tangent line perimetry, remember, it is mostly suitable for only the central field of vision, okay. So it is mostly suitable for the central field 30 degree vision, okay. And Goldman is suitable for both, for the central as well as for the peripheral field of vision, okay. So this was about the kinetic perimetry. Now we can also check out for the visual field defects through different types of automated machines, okay. This is called static perimetry. As now this is the process, the kinetic perimetry is manual, okay. We are checking manually every points, okay. But in the static perimetry it uses machines, so there will be the stimulus which we are showing the patient will be static. So that's why it is called static perimetry. And this static perimetry is mainly of three types. We can have standard automated perimetry, SAP. We can have shortwave automated perimetry, SWAP, and we can have frequency doubling test. In standard automated perimetry, it is the widely used method, okay. It is the widely usable method, and it is evaluating the magnocellular ganglions, okay. It is evaluating the magnocellular ganglions, in which a machine, the patient head will be inside the machine, and it will present a white stimulus will be presented on a white background, okay. So we will have white stimulus on white BG, and we will check every point of the field of vision inside the machine, okay. So this is called standard automated perimetry, okay. Now we can have shortwave automated perimetry. This shortwave automated perimetry is detecting the visual field defects earlier than the standard automated perimetry. Why? Because the shortwave automated perimetry, this is evaluating the coniocellular ganglions, and they are saying that in glaucoma the coniocellular ganglions, they are damaged earlier than the magnocellular ganglions. So the coniocellular ganglions in the glaucoma, they are damaged earlier than the magnocellular ganglions. So that's why the SWAP will detect any visual field defects earlier than SAP, okay. So shortwave is evaluating the coniocellular ganglions, and it is using inside the machine. It will present a yellow stimulus will be a blue stimulus will be presented on a yellow background. As we know that the coniocellular ganglions, they are detecting the blue light, okay. So shortwave will present blue light on a yellow background, and will check for any defects in the visual field, okay. So this is an important procedure for checking the visual field defects. Now we have the last. The last type of ganglion which we should evaluate is the parvocellular ganglion. And we noted that for the parvocellular ganglions, as it is detecting, as it is for the motion and flicker, okay? So for the motion and flickers, we will use two different types of frequencies. In frequency doubling test, we are using two different types of frequencies and we are actually evaluating the parvocellular ganglions. Remember, as like the SWAP, the frequency doubling test is also detecting the visual field defects earlier in glaucoma than SAP. Okay, so SWAP and frequency doubling test, they are detecting any visual field defects earlier than the SAP. Okay, so this was about the perimetry, the field of vision, and different types of perimetries. Okay, next we will discuss in the next lecture we will discuss different types of visual field defects. Okay, which through this method, through this procedure, we can detect those different types of visual field defects. So I also have prepared notes. I will give you the link in the description. You can go through the notes and can learn more. Thanks for watching the video.